Welcome, Caps fans. We're going to be talking about the Caps Coyotes game for February 22nd. Coyotes are coming to Verizon Center, and they are going to be playing with desperation. They're still in the hunt for a playoff spot, but it's kind of a long stretch at this point. They really need to start picking their game up. They've had a couple big wins, one against Montreal at their home center, and then 2 games ago for them against the Dallas Stars. They got a pretty big win. Their young guys getting a ton of points that game. Domi had 3 points. He had a 2-goal game, and Duclair had 3 assists. So they're going to be coming in hot. They're kind of a scary team, but they're very inconsistent right now.
These are the types of teams at this point in time of the year that you really worry about playing. But just like the Devils, they're fighting for a playoff spot. They're going to come in with a little chip on their shoulder. I was watching one of the Yotes games the other day, and Tyson Nash was talking about how they have to get some home wins because they're going to be going on the road. They're going to be playing teams like the Capitals. I don't think the team buys into that. I don't think that they think that they're going to have to get home wins because they're just going to go out and lose to a team like the Capitals. They're going to come out and they're going to certainly try to lock down the Caps and try to get a win here. So yeah, I think they're a little bit of I wouldn't call them a desperate team yet, but they're certainly a team with a sense of urgency, and they're the dangerous teams to play this time of year.
Yeah, I agree. And it really does seem that way. But one point I do have to make is that it seems like whether they're playing home or away, it doesn't really matter to them. They've got a fair number of away victories. It's kind of weird. I'm not used to seeing a team with that kind of consistency having a decent number of road wins, especially earlier on in the season. I remember they were one of the first teams to beat the Canadiens at home when the Canadiens are still in their early season hot streak.
Yeah, I mean, they're not a bad road team at all. They're a little bit hit or miss night to night, but they do seem to be able to pick up road wins when they need them. They're a very young team. They've got a lot of young guns. I mean, when you talk about Domi, Duclair, Bodker, Toby Reeder, and their defense, I mean,
Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
Oh my God, 6 of the 8 defensemen they have under contract are 25 years old or younger.
Yeah, they're a young team just like the Oilers. It seems like a lot of teams out west are kind of in a rebuilding phase right now, especially the Coyotes. And like I said in my last video, the Coyotes, they were projected to be dead last this season, and somehow Coach Dave Tippett and their squad have seemed to make this kind of chippy for the teams that they're playing against.
I think you got to give a lot of credit to Dave Tippett. I know a lot of people talk about, and I love Barry Trotz, and I think he is certainly somebody that they have to look at, when it comes to the Jack Adams Award. But I think Dave Tippett's got to be in the mix here. He's got a team very young, but they were projected to come dead bottom of the league, and they're now still fighting for a playoff spot. I think it's been remarkable what they've done this year. And this is a team that's kind of scary because they're only going to get better with all the young guys when they come together. So I think that you do have to give a lot of credit to Coach Tippett. I think he right now has found at least something in this team that seems to work and seems to get them wins when no one expected them.
Yeah, and one thing the Caps have to do tomorrow is get some early goals. One thing that the Coyotes are struggling with right now is goaltending. Mike Smith had that surgery that put him out of commission for a long time. Anders Lindback is not living up to what his contract is. And Louis Domingue, he's stepping up, He's an AHL goalie. It looks like he's stepping in, and he's coming in with all this confidence. He's making remarkable saves. He's getting some crazy come-from-behind wins for the Yotes this year.
Yeah, Louis Domingue has been fantastic for them. I think he's overachieved. I don't think they expected this from him.
No, they didn't.
It was like found money. I am told that Mike Smith is going to be traveling with the team. I think that it's not a matter of whether he's going to play or not. I think they're just hoping that at some point in time during this road trip, maybe he'll practice with the team. But there was an article that came out 7 or 10 days ago that said he really wasn't close to returning. So I don't think we're going to see him anytime soon. So it will be Louis Domingue tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see who the Caps go with.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we did put Grubauer in. Holtby kind of looked a little shaky last night with parts of his game, especially that first goal where he came out of the net and it looked like he overcommitted and then flopped out of the crease. It led to that Zajac goal in the first period, and again we let in a goal in the first period, and that's something we cannot do tomorrow night.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there are several that in the last couple of games that I'm sure he'd want back. I mean, Holtby has been pulling this team out of the fire when we haven't been playing well and getting us wins when we haven't been playing well. But he has let in some recently that I'm sure he'd want back. I'm sure he'll look at a lot of film and correct a lot of these things. But I'm not too worried about it. I think that this is just a bit of a bump in the road for him. But the team's still winning, and I think he'll be just fine. And as far as Grubauer goes, though, I mean, he had a big win last week against the Kings, and it wouldn't surprise me if they gave him the start tomorrow night. But who knows? I guess we'll find out sometime tomorrow morning.
Yeah, and we really do need to cut back on our Holtby reliance, because this isn't sustainable. It's not a sustainable gameplay method. You can't just say, okay, Holtby, you're going to be making 15 great saves in the first period, and then we're going to pick it up. We need to jump out of the bench in the first period with the confidence that we need to actually get a first goal and not let up the first goal.
Yeah, I think that was a school of thought last week when the Kings came to town and Grubauer got the start. I think the thought process was, that hey, it's a message to the team. This guy's not going to bail you out. You got to play your own hockey, and you've got to play solid hockey in front of whoever's playing in net. You can't just sit back and become a spectator thinking this guy's going to bail me out, and then we'll break out the other way. It just doesn't happen that way.
Right. Well, the Caps, one thing I did want to talk about was their power play. 2 games ago, when we were playing against the Isles, it looked like we were switching it up a little bit, and I was very happy with it. Trotz looked like he kept the line formations that he started as the Isles and then carried over into the New Jersey Devils game, but it looked like our power play sunk back into its same kind of stale formation where we just kind of pass it around if we're even able to set up the half ice.
Yeah, I agree. I think we really need to stop relying on that, Ovi shot there from the left point. We've got to be able to move the puck around. I think that guys like Kuzi and Backstrom, even getting the puck, and they did try to get it in a few times to a guy like Oshie, but you've got to get these shots diversified. You've got to keep these teams honest. They were shading over, the Devils were, on Ovechkin the entire time we were on a power play.
They were double teaming him.
Yeah.
It was effectively a 4-on-3 on a 4-on-2 on the power play. All you have to do is utilize the fact that the teams are going to be covering Ovechkin and bring it to other guys. I mean, we have Oshie in the middle, but that seems to have not been working the last 15 games or so. We have that slingshot where it goes point to below the goal line to Oshie, and then he has that one-time goal into the net. But it seems like it hasn't been working, so maybe they need to try something different.
Well, I think that you shoot from other places. You've got if you get the guy coming off the half boards, whether it's Mojo, Kuzi, Backstrom, it doesn't matter. Have them take shots. When these teams start getting shots from places they don't expect it, they're going to have to be honest, and they're going to have to then shift their defense. And Ovi will get some room at some point in time, but we can't just keep relying on getting him the puck. Carlson to Ovi, Carlson to Ovi, Carlson to Ovi, Niskanen to Ovi. It just doesn't work that way.
Right. So tomorrow's game, I'm predicting that we're gonna win 5-2. I'm guessing that we're gonna get the first goal for the first time in a little while, and that'll make it easier for us to get into the Coyotes' heads, which it's pretty easy to do this season. They're a young team. There's some discipline that needs to be had, even though they have the great leadership of Shane Doan, who has, I think, 22 games on the season so far. He's 39 years old. He's playing like a 25-year-old.
Yeah, I'll say 4-1, and again, I think that Kuzi will get 2 points. I predicted that I thought Mike Richards would get his first point the other night. Didn't happen. Also, I did get the Kuzi 2 points. I did get the 4 goals. It wasn't 4-1. I'm going 4-1 again tomorrow night against the Coyotes.
All right. I'm saying Richards is getting the 3rd goal for us.
I'm
saying he's getting the game winner.
All right.
We're actually going to be at the game tomorrow, so
absolutely.
We'll probably not do a recap video of tomorrow's game, but we'll see you later in the week.
Let's go, Caps!